Wallace Bennett said unequivocally that if you do this Canyonlands Park, this is what's going to happen to where we are now. All commercial use and business activity would be forever banned, and nearly all of southern Utah's growth would be forever stunted. Well, the reality is that outdoor recreation in Utah is worth about $6.1 billion a year in economic output. That's goods and services associated with this. And in Utah, that's about 67,000 jobs that are affected with it. In the United States, it's $862 billion. These aren't my figures. These are from the U.S. Department of Commerce, Bureau of Economic Analysis in 2022. Well, outdoor recreation, which is something I feel really, really strongly about, and I want to talk about it a lot. These are not just stuff I like to do, they're stuff I know a lot of you like to do. This picture in many states would be almost impossible. Just getting access to that river across private lands is often not possible at all. If you jumped in the river at a highway bridge and are walking down the river like this, in many states you'd be trespassing now. You'd be either on the guy's land on the left or on the right because you're standing on the bottom. And so the public lands, you could go fish in so many places, and it's your land and you can go use it. Four-wheel drive. When I was in Texas, one of the programs I had was the grants program. We were constantly looking for places for four-wheel drive users who are legitimate users of the public land to find a place to go. And about the time we'd use motorized trail grant money coming from excise tax on gasoline, and we talked to some rancher about can they use your ranch roads for backcountry roads and so forth. And they say, how much are you going to pay me? We'd come up with an amount, and then his neighbors would find out that he was going to have four-wheel drive vehicles on his ranch. And every time the potential agreements fell through. That's why all these Texans and people from back east come out here to go do their interest and activity. Mountain biking is one of my passions. There are thousands of miles of trail on public lands available for riding. New trails are being built all the time. In states with little public land, it's a serious challenge to piece together any extensive trail network, as each piece of private land access has to be negotiated and is often not possible. Hunting. I've been a hunter since I was very young. To be able to hunt on private land in states with little public land is expensive. That's why you have so many hunters coming from the east, from non-public land states, out to the western states where the public lands exist, and they buy an out-of-state hunting and fishing license, and they basically then can hunt for free. And now, one of the groups I talked to recently was the backcountry hunters and anglers who understand this clearly, that if these lands go away, they got no place to go. River running, I dealt with this all the time, people launching their boats. In some places they couldn't get out of the boat or they'd be trespassing. Others, if you're going to do a multi-day trip and you want to camp on the shore, and the definition of public land and private land is the mean high water, and you're not carrying a surveyor with you, then you're at the whim of that rancher who's saying, you're on my land, keep going. And so many differences here. All of you that are in the river running business, you know good and well that we've got it made. If you're a horse user and you want to do long rides or overnight pack trips, or if you're a backcountry hunter or fisherman that want to access your special spots on a horse, you've got to go to the public land states. If you're in a state that has no public lands and you're a horse user, your options are very limited, and probably you're going to spend a whole lot more time in a corral than you are doing the things you love to do. If you're a backpacker, there are literally thousands of miles of trails on public lands for you to hike, camp, explore, all over the United States. Most of these are on public lands. We have trails that go all the way from the Mexican border to Canada. We have them in the east that are largely in public lands, like the Appalachian Trail that runs through the Smokies and Shenandoah and Blue Ridge Parkway. We probably have the finest collection of trails for backcountry users anywhere in the entire world right here in the United States. We are so lucky that we have these places. We don't need less of them. We need more of them.